Yeah, we're up. How's it? They're doing a live stream, and I'm a bit late, but I mean, yeah, it's okay. But this is for update 1.4. This is for Water Wars, or Dune Awakening. So I want to just jump in, and yeah, I'm really keen to see what's coming next in the next update. Wonder how much they're going to show in this. Let's see. Make sure the volume's right. Seems good.
Grüezi, hi and welcome to another Dune Awakening live developer stream here from our offices in Oslo. I'm Natasha Rösli, Senior Global PR Manager at Funcom, and I am your host for today. So we have some exciting things to talk about, things we've been working on in the past. We have coming up a quick look back to Chapter 3, kind of a recap. We will be talking about what's coming next in the update 1.4, and we will talk about the Waters DLC as well that will also be delivered with 1.4, and we also have a Q&A at the end of the stream. So it has been a hot minute in Arrakis terms, pun intended, since we had our last stream, but I am very excited to be back. I'm very excited to have really interesting guests today and to talk about what we've been working on. So, to start us off, let's take a quick look back at what Chapter 3 brought to the table for Dune Awakening.
Welcome to Chapter 3, the biggest update to Dune Awakening yet.
I hope they do more races.
Rebuilds the Landsrad
Want more racing,
system
bro.
from the
It's
ground
awesome.
up. Take on Landsrad missions that shape your
This is
world.
rad.
Gatherer, crafter, explorer, fighter, or
Proper in-game
saboteur.
loops.
10 new overland locations rise from the wasteland. These include 5 new Imperial testing stations, and they feature a new
I haven't done all of them yet. I still need to do all of them.
challenges that can be scaled to achieve greater rewards. The main story of Dune Awakening continues in Chapter 3 with the art of candy. This is Chapter 3, a rebuilt endgame, deeper systems, new
More racing.
missions, new weapons,
Definitely more
and
racing.
new
Fits, bro.
ways to
It's like Star
define
Wars and
the
racing. It just
world.
fits. You know, you could have dudes up on the ledges, like shooting at you, and it would just,
All
yeah,
right,
it would just
we are
fit.
back, and I have some exciting guests. I am always happy to have you back on stream, Joel. Joel and his toe shoes, our creative director on Dune Awakening. Joel, introduce yourself quickly to the one who don't know you.
Hi, my name is Chris Knife, and it's been a while.
Chris Knife.
I've been making trips. I've been obviously busy, hard at work on Chapter 3 and 4. We're talking about 1.4 we're going to talk about today. And I also, in the middle of that, took a trip home to Australia to visit my family down under, who I haven't really seen that much in the last 7 years, thanks to Dune Awakening. And it's good to be back and to see the community. And I don't have real toe shoes today. I feel bad about that. But my real toe shoes are in the wash because they had the stank. So I got some other ones on.
You need to have your microphone a little bit away from your beard, sir, because
Sorry.
you're having like
I have scratchy throat.
beard scratches
Yeah.
on the stream. So
And
it's
my wife complains about it all the time.
Hello.
And also the master of colorful socks normally, but he disappoints today. Can we even see it? Yeah, we can see it. It's like wearing black socks today, but some really cool fancy
It's
slippers.
my Japanese hotel slippers that I stole from a Japanese hotel. Well,
No one heard. It's fine. It's
borrowed.
fine. No one heard
I'll
that.
return them one
It's
day.
okay.
It's fine.
It's okay. But anyway, Ole Andreas, our production director.
Yep.
Cool.
Ole Andreas, also something you want to add?
No, I think that's good. I've not been down under, but I've been here keeping the fort.
Yeah, things got
He's
a lot
been
better. Things got a lot
working.
better while I was
He's
away.
been
so thank
working
you.
It was a lot easier to just make shit.
You're still rubbing here.
happen.
I think you need to. Can you just put it
No.
maybe a little bit
Oh.
further down?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's
It's
rubbing
We
against.
actually really missed that guy while he was out. It
Should
was,
I,
it's kind of nice.
do you want me to just hold
Just
it
put
up
it,
to my
put it
mouth?
a little bit down here, maybe.
Oh, okay.
On a fold.
Take it out.
I feel like
Take
this
it
is
off
a
and
HR
put it on
case
a-
waiting to happen.
Tech issues.
That's perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Any
Okay.
nipple interference? Or are we good? No?
Nipple
Okay.
interference. All right. Thank you, Joel.
Sorry.
All right. So
Okay.
we have been hard at work.
Let's get to the
believe it.
update.
with some of the recent updates as well, since updates we had since Chapter 3. One of them actually just went live 2 days ago as well, that introduced some really cool new things, including dedicated PvE and PvP instances.
PvP is now optional
for each of the official worlds. Very, very excited about that one. But let's briefly chat about Chapter 3, right? There were a lot of new things that we introduced, a lot of cool new features that kind of were introduced to kind of build a foundation as well. So how do you feel about this? Like, how did it go? Like, are you proud?
Maybe I should talk about how it started.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think this is kind of interesting for people to hear. So obviously before the game launches, my job is partially to make a plan, right? And have a plan. Here's the roadmap. This is what we're working towards, right? These are the creative goals for the project. And then the game launched and we sort of saw how things were going, what people were complaining about, asking for, wanting more of, what wasn't working, what was working. And we knew that my original plan for Chapter 3 just had to be sort of thrown away, right? So we kind of took what was originally planned and we just said, no, you know what? People need more.
What was originally planned?
We need to pivot here. It's a very hard pivot for the team because we were kind of in the middle of production on a lot of stuff. We sort of went, no, we can't deliver what was originally planned. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about what was originally planned, but we
can go high level. That's okay.
Yeah. So we were originally having planning to have the third faction in the Landsrad, the Smugglers, and Fallen Light as a social hub, and of course a bunch of things like faction quests around that. But we saw that players weren't
engaging with it,
interested in that kind of play, and they were more interested in what was going on at the end game. We saw that the Landsrad obviously wasn't fulfilling the function that we'd originally wanted it to fulfill in the game, and obviously we had a lot of stuff going on there with the end game. So it was a huge pivot. We came up with a plan. We worked with the systems designers. We came up with a progression system, the specialization systems. We worked with the content teams to figure out how we were going to do these Landsrad maps, the Landsrad missions, the dungeon team to figure out how we would do boss fights. The combat team was also obviously a huge part of that. And then we all just came together with this big plan, pivot time, everyone turned on a dime and started working on this stuff. And we managed to, I think, deliver a pretty huge update after a lot of work. So yeah, it was a very big thing, but it was about listening to what the community was saying, listening to what people were asking.
That kind of makes sense.
Seeing what people were looking to have more of. And
that kind of makes sense because we got all the smugglers' skins and the base building, but obviously there was more planned we didn't see because they had to change direction so hectically. Worth it though, to be fair, man. You know, I'm gonna drop in the right spot here, bro.
Sort of giving people more to do and more stuff, more ways to advance their characters. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy about the team really pulled through and delivered on this one.
Yeah.
I remember we sat down in this very room, sitting down with all of the people that you talked about, discussing the plan, coming up with it, and then just let's execute. And the plans that we had in the past, they'll be there if you want to revisit someday. But this was what really mattered at that time. So, and I'm pretty happy to see how it's been received. The player seems to have enjoyed it.
Yeah,
we built a great foundation. Like the foundation we built is, we spent a lot of time building a good system for dungeons, a good system for bosses.
They're good loops.
Fleshing out so it's easier
to
do
loops.
These kinds of content in the future. The Landsrad system with missions, it's easy to expand on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a pretty good foundation now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And as you say, it just creates a base for us to build upon, right? And also some of the things that come up now that we're actually showing today kind of already use that system and build on it already. But of course we have many more cool things that the teams are working on that of course we can't really talk about just yet, but
awesome.
Really soon. So I am very excited for the future, of course, of Dune Awakening. So, but I'm also a little bit biased, I guess.
Future's so bright, you got to wear shades.
Oh yes.
Also because it's Arrakis.
Goggles and a steel suit.
Sorry.
And a steel suit. Yes, exactly.
Oh, dad jokes.
Yes, so there is a lot of things that have changed in a very short amount of time. Also, of course, we had community challenges that were super well received, I think. And people were freaking bursting through those.
We even had to here's a stretch goal because you the players, you just burned through it, smashed it completely.
Absolutely smashed it, and
so that's definitely something we want to do more of.
Yes,
by the way,
exactly. Yeah, We are gonna actually mention that again a little bit in one of the follow-up segments.
The increased
as well,
XP
regarding,
weekends.
Community
Barbara.
Yeah.
challenges and things like that, because they are fun. I love.
On average, players spend 13 minutes to complete the testing station. Some players have already cleared dungeons at the impressive 150 difficulty level. They were naked.
Them myself. So. Also, we actually
could
see
run.
already some stats on the screen as well. The viewers should see that as well. There are some fun facts and some fun data, because obviously we are looking at the data, besides the fact that we have our ear and eyes on the community and the feedback and the public feedback as well. But yeah, let me throw you some let me
Okay.
throw some stats at you, and then you just kind of react to those. Either like you say like, oh, that's because of this or whatever. It's like, so yeah, in regards to dungeons, I think one really interesting fact here is that 75% of users complete 1 to 3 dungeons per day.
Oh wow,
That's a
pretty
high number, I think.
Yeah.
So it looks like that was a very good addition, and people really like running those as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and the average time was 13 minutes, I think, to complete a dungeon.
That's what it said. Yeah.
1 to 3
exactly.
stations per
So,
day.
like, I
Damn.
mean, that's good because like it adds
30 minutes,
a
yes.
sort of session length to the game as well, which people
1% of players run
people
more
with
than
less time,
10
they still
testing
feel like they can
stations
achieve something
daily.
meaningful.
Yeah.
So yeah, running 1 to 3 dungeons. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, and I remember when we started working on the game, one of the targeted session lengths for the game, from a design perspective, was we expected people to play about 45 minutes, which would be 3 dungeons, right? So it's not too
Perfect.
bad. Yeah.
And that's
But
among the other
also-
things that you do as well, right?
yeah, of course,
So
of
it's,
course.
Hey, you
So
jump in
it's-
for an hour.
Yeah.
And that's also that play session time was way longer than we
Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course. The
That was-
PlayStation time is longer, but that was the target originally.
was crazy. Yes, so also it's like 1% completes an average of 10 dungeons.
Also, the start. One thing that they absolutely nailed was starting with nothing and building up, and going, from your starting location through to the mid, then to the later locations, right? Like in Sheol, and the Shield Wall. Like that whole loop, it was awesome. You know what I mean? Like it was really cool because you were, and obviously that's the tried and tested system. So it's like, but yeah, I loved it. It was fun because it was just like, it was so addicting. Yeah, it was super addictive because you'd build your base up a bit. You'd then, I'm currently sitting at 510 hours in this. It was a fair amount, but most of that was just on base building and just trying different things with the base. And yeah, but it was cool. The loop was cool. You would literally go new location, start small, mine all the stuff you need, build out, and then rinse, repeat. Great. And I think the DD was the idea that you would do that permanently. Like you'd shoot to the DD, build out your base, do some mining, get out before it all goes. Clever, right? That part's clever. The vast emptiness of it, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, can you put in more stuff? Yeah. Maybe what you would need, like NPCs trying to get spice, and you would take out their spice harvesting vehicles and their thopters. You know what I mean? Like, right? You make that like which makes sense. I mean, it fits with the law. So you can stumble upon an Atreides spice farming run, and you can go and destroy it and steal the spice, right? If you take out on all the thopters, and maybe you bring your carrier, park it not too far away, go and take them out, and then bring your carrier over and take the harvester. You know what I mean? And the same thing could be for Harkonnen. You could stumble upon a Harkonnen team, farming some spice, and then that would be kind of rad. I think be kind of a fun way to and maybe you have tiers. Maybe it's a tier system. So maybe your final tier system, right? So your final tier of a spice farming team, Harkonnen or Atreides or whatever, is like you can't take it alone. You know what I mean? Like you would have to do it with other players. Because it's just, yeah, it's like a raid. You know what I mean? Like you could have a small little one that you could take out, and maybe even a medium one you could take on solo. Like it'd be tough, but you could do it. And then maybe the large spice farming team, you would have to, it would be next to impossible to do it solo. I mean, there'll be someone who will do it solo. And they'll probably do it in like the first fucking week. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like I think that would be a way to have something to do in the deep desert that's still PvE, and you could even do it with co-op. You know what I mean? So you could literally do it with co-op, and then you attack the spice farming team, and then you could also do it for solos. But you would just have different levels. I think that would be a way to do it. It'd be a way to, like, you know, you would increase activity in the deep desert. You'd increase objectives. You would make the deep desert like less sort of empty, and it'd be in-game content, right? You would, I think it would absolutely fit. You know, so you got to take out a team that's farming spice, and if you do it successfully, you can get their spice that they've farmed. Huh? Come on, that'd be awesome. And you can do it solo or co-op, and that's ongoing. So that, you know, because there's always teams trying to get spice. So you could you literally have an in-game activity that's always running. Yeah, man, that would work. I reckon that would work.
10
per day, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy.
Those people
I think,
really want their specialization, so I guess they're capped. So,
Yeah,
but they want their augments.
they do it. I guess they appreciate the boost events.
Yeah, for sure.
75% of the dungeons are completed solo. I think that's not on the screen right now, but I think we had I think that's also very interesting.
It's quite interesting, and something we've seen in the data as well. And we've been looking at that specific.
On average,
thing
players
as
spend
a
13
thing
minutes
we
in a
wanted
dungeon.
to dig deeper into, and we do see that the balancing pass that we did for 1.3
Since Chapter 3 is released, players have defeated nearly 1.9 million bosses
did
across all
favor
dungeons.
somewhat the solo runs.
Stats are rad.
A little bit. So we are doing passes now actually to kind of make the balancing a bit more favorable towards 2, 3, 4 again.
Yeah,
Or
just
at
make
least-
grouping meaningful, right? Like
Yeah.
that's the important thing here. Is like to make people feel like they aren't losing out by playing with friends.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of kind of the
Yes.
effect that you would want to
Yeah,
have. So
yeah.
there's balancing passes towards that.
Because there's fun in playing together, and I just came out of a run I did with Jeff here,
Yeah.
and that was really fun. And I don't want to feel like I'm punished for doing that.
Yes,
so it
exactly.
makes sense.
No, and people who play together stay together, as we say. So
Yeah.
it's always
nice.
fun.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage that, and obviously that was one of the things we felt was a bit off after the patch.
Yeah.
So it's something we've been working towards fixing. We've patched a little bit with this. Is it yesterday? The last
Yeah,
patch?
2 days ago,
Yeah.
1.320 had
1.320
quite
is
a
yesterday,
few
right? So that was
dungeon
the
balances,
patch, and then and then there's more to look at as well, right?
Yeah.
So
And the stuff we did in that one was like reducing the ad spawns in the 2, 3, 4, boss health,
Loot bugs, there was some loot issues, yeah.
some rebalancing of the loot so that you're getting more of the loot that you actually want and less
Yes.
of the loot that you don't
Yeah.
want.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, continuing to improve, iteration.
How it is with a live game, right? So this is
Exactly.
Like,
No
it's
plan
a
survives first contact with
work
the
in
live
progress.
game.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then the highest level of difficulty a dungeon was completed was, at least back when we pulled this data, level 150,
What?
which is freaking crazy, which is absolutely insane. Like, shout out to whoever did that. If you're watching, kudos.
That is impressive.
How can you go? There's a challenge for you. Let us know.
I mean, the
right
number
now it's
goes up to
150.
999, so...
It doesn't. It doesn't have a cap, does it?
Oh, I think it doesn't, but
No,
yeah.
it doesn't have a cap.
Technically not so much.
Technically
I mean,
not.
technically there is an int max somewhere, but...
There'll have to be a number that
It's like the Donkey Kong thing. Like once you're at 9,999 or 99 million whatsoever, it goes back to zero.
Yeah, yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah.
the
reset,
end circle, yeah. The thing that's impressive about that, so there's a certain point like in the RPG, and this is actually what's helpful about this scaling system as well, is it allows us to keep an eye on how our RPG systems work in the game and how the player stats and things scale. And one of the things we see is that basically if you can avoid getting hit at all, which is what these players managed to do to get to 150.
Naked runs.
If you can avoid being hit, that's why, it's naked runs as well. But if you avoid taking any damage at all, then of course it doesn't matter what the level of the dungeon
Yeah,
is, right? Like
yeah,
so there's some there's some really cool and interesting things there in terms of progression and lessons we need to learn for scaling as well to make our systems better. So I've been talking with the systems guys about it and the combat team because it's kind of this conversation between combat and systems about making sure that these things feel correct and meaningful, and that it isn't just like once you get past a certain point, it's just not about not getting hit.
Yeah.
There has to be some more progression there. So
Yeah, makes total sense.
yeah.
Awesome. Also, of course, we already talked about or briefly touched upon PvE and PvE Deep Desert instances now. So also we just had Haga Basin become completely PvE as well.
Also, you could do it where, let's say, if you sided with Atreides as faction, right? You could also then go, cool. Well, there's an Atreides team farming spice in the deep desert, and you can go and protect them from, let's say, I don't know, like a Harkonnen team or whatever, or Harkonnen spies, or somebody who wants to disrupt that, and then you get paid in melange or something. Cool.
Do you want to say a little bit about how that came to be, like what the kind of, thought behind all of this is?
Sure, I'll take the blame and the no, it's fine. It's the so I mean, there was a vision when the game launched, right, for how we thought that these things would play out. We were trying to make them work. There was a very clear vote from the audience, the people who bought the game and played the game. This isn't all that they wanted, right? And it wasn't working the way that they wanted. And so we have been like looking at the stats, talking to people. We made obviously a very quick adjustment to the Deep Desert to make 50% of it PvE and PvP, thus making nobody happy at all because it wasn't really designed as a PvE experience. And the PvP experience was shrunk down to a certain area. So we've been discussing back and forth internally for months and months about what to do and how to do it and how to refocus things. And I think the conclusion was at the end of the day that and there was talk of doing things like making entire PvP servers from scratch so that it was PvP all the way through. There was talk about, but there were complications with doing things like that where people who were invested would lose all their stuff, having to go migrate to a new server and start from. So, I mean, we have mitigated a lot of those things along the way.
But base backup tool.
So we decided that actually giving people the choice between a PvP Deep Desert and a PvE Deep Desert was the best way to make people be able to like choose the type of play that they wanted to engage in, right? And then that allows us as well to then focus in. So, PvP players will have a different meta. They'll have a different approach to the game. We'll get feedback on that. We'll be able to make changes that work more for people who are participating in this kind of pure PvP battles. There are things that I've talked about in the past that I've mentioned. The control points should come back at some point, and they will then tie directly back to the Landsrad, but it won't be the system that it was. The control points will have a slightly different emphasis. There's things we can do in the new PvP Deep Desert, like no fly zones, right? I've mentioned that in the past to reinforce the RPG systems, reinforce getting on the ground and fighting things out properly. So there is kind of like a thought process behind segregating the types of players and how they want to play. I'll highlight this by saying another thing because I think it's really important. A lot of our negative Steam reviews are people complaining about having to do forced PvP, as they call it in the game, right? And so there's also a lot of pressure to make sure that we need to make sure that people don't feel that they're forced into it, right? And I think that's also been a clear goal from the team, like to make sure that the most possible people can enjoy Dune Awakening.
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
now you can choose to.
Exactly.
And I think it's also
Makes
worth
sense.
mentioning that this eventually allows us to kind of make a more tailored experience for each audience, or not each audience, but each experience, I guess I would rather say, because we still want it to be open for a PvE audience to dip their toes into PvP if they wanted to. I also think it's worth mentioning, because we've seen this already, and we did have a conversation about this before 1.3.20 went out, about making sure that PvE Deep Desert is a place where griefing is not a predominant factor. And we expect this to some extent, of course, because that's just how the nature of these kinds of games are. But we are currently also looking at further mitigations towards that. So more to come on that end. We've done one pass with this patch, but there will be more coming.
Yes.
Cool.
I think it's also really nice to have that PvE option in the Deep Desert, because then people can, amass resources and they don't feel like they can dip their toe into PvP and they don't feel like, I'm going to get super punished, because they know, I have a lot of things at home.
Recovery is easier now.
Exactly. It's easier to recover from that, which I understand that a lot of people don't have that much time. They can't just, spend. Some people have, some people don't, right? And then if you put those people in the same pot, it gets difficult.
Some of them have day jobs, man.
That's a key concern, I think. I would say that that's a red thread through everything we've done since the launch of the game, is that the game punished people with too much loss, right, throughout parts of the game. So and and losing vehicles really hurts people. And we had bugs around that in the beginning. We had a bunch of things that were causing those problems, and then also like harvesting. People were losing vehicles out in the deep desert. So there is like this consistent feedback on the loss, and it's very hard from a game design perspective to make meaningful PvP without meaningful loss.
Exactly.
Right, which is why the choice to make a PvP deep desert where there can be meaningful loss, right, so that people still feel that the risk is there and the tension of those moments still exists. And then we can work on, and hopefully other like-minded people are out there, so it's still that moment of tension when you go out into the PvP deep desert and you still feel like you're flying out and you're looking, check your six, where are people coming from? Is there anyone around me? And we've made so many improvements to the game for that, like the view distance of ornithopters, and all those kind of things that we've been just working on to try and make it better. I think
You're coming to say hello. Okay. Are you here for a visit? Sure. Have you been sleeping? Just chilling, eh? Having a nice Sunday afternoon nap. Yep. Been napping. Eh? Been napping. What is your plan for the rest of the day? We're looking for treats. You've had snacks. You've had treats. You've had all the treats. All the treats. You've had all of them. Had all of them. Yeah, I need to finish this video.
we patched a version of a fix for ornithopter surfing yesterday as well.
Not the ornithopter. That's coming in a future patch.
That's the next patch. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are listening and paying attention to how the dynamics are as well. So, yeah, as with all these things, you put them out, you see how things go. And then on the PvE side, yeah, I think there's things we can do to make the Deep Desert a less boring PvE experience, because one of the things I would say is that it was never designed, like the content in the Deep Desert was always that tension, those moments with other players, and PvE has sort of not got the same tension in the Deep Desert. So there's things we will do there as well and look at.
So there's a lot of things to come, a lot of things that are being worked on, a lot of things that people internally also are aware.
Taking on a spice farming team.
Mentioned the ornithopter gliding thing. That was, I know, a big pain point recently, the surfing.
We are paying attention to pretty much everything being said out there. So if people are worried, I mean, keep raising it. That's great. We want you guys to raise anything that you see as an issue. And we have a great community team, a great CS team, a great live team, and they keep looking at this stuff, and we evaluate all the time. Yeah,
and as we said as well, I think we mentioned it. I mean, the specialization go in that kind of that way as well. Is we want to give player the option to play in their way, like find ways or like enforce or make sure they can actually do the things they like doing, right? Other things that go this way as well is, of course, the things that we're doing with self-hosted servers and things like that. There's other things that are coming that we work on. Yep. Maybe you want to mention those two. There's two big things that.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost ready now for public test client. Where I just spoke to the team today. It's starting to become in a very good spot, the self-hosted servers, and that will allow a lot of players who want to kind of tailor their experience to be able to do that. And that's one of the I guess the general directions that we want to take, is that we want to open it up a little bit for people to kind of tailor their experience for what they want. So if you want a hardcore full like on PvP world, you can set that up yourself and gather that kind of community, and we're not going to be the ones gating it. We'll still have our own servers, of course, that run the game as
custom servers
we intended.
Yeah, officials, and I think that's really important, right? Like giving players the option.
Where's that going to be hosted?
Sort of one of the philosophies we try to follow, right? Like, and Conan Exiles was the same. It was kind of one of the things we always talked about.
Self-hosting?
People would say, should we do this or this? And I'd be like, just make it an option so people can choose which one they want to do. Right? And it's the same thing with this, the self-hosted. I think it launches with a somewhat limited set of options, and we're adding more and more.
So there's going to be, you can get access to most options, but it's a bit convoluted to figure out how to configure it. So we'll make it pretty obvious, the options that do matter for most people, with documentation and all of that stuff, and then we'll keep making that more accessible. And then we also expect some of the community to build tools around it.
Yes.
Because that's all that always happens with these kinds of things. So we'll build our own tools, but we also expect the community to build some really cool tools.
Mods.
We hope. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are great.
Yeah, and then of course we also have server matches coming relatively soon as well. More on that at another point in time, though. So yeah, but that was it for this segment. I think that was very interesting, and it's always
1.4.
cool to, get a bit
Water
more
shipments.
into the meat of things and why were things done and what we're doing as well and the thought processes and stuff. So hopefully you found that interesting as well. I know I did. So I'm always excited to have Joel and Ole Andreas on stream. So Joel, thank you so much.
That's all right.
Chris,
Chris,
thank you so
My name
much.
is Chris.
I'll have you back for the Q&A.
Okay.
Ole Andreas, you will be staying with me for the next segment.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And we will actually look at 1.4 and what's coming your way with 1.4. But also we have a quick teaser for you. So take a look.
Cool. They haven't said when, eh? No date. Did say that the PTS was like almost ready to go though. That's normally a month. Whew. Late May, June. Interesting. Suits are cool. Interesting, this area. New dungeon. The water walls. We can make all of that, like, all the walls white. Which is kind of rad. And that Thopter. The best looking Thopter. Easily. May 19th. Dude.
So, welcome back, everybody.
What? I didn't realize it was
actually have
that.
a completely new
That's
face
like-
on stream today, and I'm so happy
Oh my goodness.
that you can join us today, Hugo.
Thank you.
This is Hugo Mardolkar. He is our project management director. And if that
16
sounds a little bit
days.
confusing, don't worry.
Like 2 weeks, bro.
Basically, we
Holy
have
shit.
Ole Andreas here who does the what of our development, and Hugo does kind of the how in the development. So those two actually work quite closely together as well. So they kind of balance each other out, they complement each other really well. But Hugo, you want to introduce yourself quickly to the stream?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I am Hugo, or as we say in Portuguese, Hugo.
Hugo?
Yeah. I've been in Funcom for more than 10 years. I started out as a coder.
One of the
in
OGs.
old games. But yeah, now I work as project management director with Ula. So I focus on how things are done, and he focuses on what gets done. So it's
Awesome.
really nice to work with Ula.
Oh. Likewise.
Yeah, outside of work, just a little detail. I'm a third degree black belt in Taekwondo. I'm a third dan.
So don't mess with Hugo.
I absolutely love Taekwondo. There's no Hugo without Taekwondo, and so I teach it every week, and it's super nice. And yeah, of course, I'm also a gamer. I play board games, tabletop RPGs, video games, all of it.
And a connoisseur of really cool meme t-shirts, obviously, as we can see
Nice.
right here.
Tabletop. I wonder if he
Pretty much
probably
a new
does
one
like.
every day.
Element of surprise. It's
Warhammer.
awesome. Yeah, I love it. All right, so we just watched the trailer. Hugo, was that correct?
Yeah, close.
Almost. Close enough. Tell us a little bit what's coming.
So for update 1.4, we have 3 main things. We have the Water Shippers DLC. We have a new dungeon.
Water Wars.
Water
DLC.
Wars.
Yes.
You'll see. I knew I was going to get it wrong. Internal names, external names, you know. And then we have the Old Quarry dungeon. And we have a new endgame location called Wind Pass. And this time it's not Joel's fault. It's actually Herbert that called it that. So.
The official name, Wind Pass. It could
There's a
have
few
come
internal
from Joel.
jokes on that one.
A few.
Yes, I'm pretty
What
sure.
about the polar
Chad
caps?
Had a field day with that as well, or maybe has one now. So we'll see. Yes. So as you also mentioned, the Water Wars DLC is of course the conclusion of the season pass.
Correct.
Yes. So now, it's
Conclusion
called
of the season
update
pass. So is there going to be
1.4
another
officially.
one?
Ole Andreas, why is it not a chapter? Why is it an update one?
Yeah,
wonder.
it's a good question. I've seen some videos online as well from certain creators that have been guessing on what's coming in this update. So to give you like the like a little bit of the view on the back end of things on our end, we're working on a bunch of new cool content on our side. What's coming in 1.4 is a part of it, but some of the content that we're working on, including new map location, it needs a little bit more time to cook before we're ready to release it to the players. So that's coming in a later time in the year. But yeah, with 1.4, we have been cooking on what Hugo just mentioned, which we're pretty excited about showing. So, and then the continuation of the story is also something that is coming a bit later in the year. And usually we've been tying the word chapter to the continuation of the story. So, that's kind of why I guess it's called an update 1.4.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of like another stepping stone, right, for us to actually then go into the bigger updates, like laying more fundamental,
So this isn't.
work.
So the
and all
polar
that
caps
to
update
then
is not now.
Go to the big boom.
And the content in update 1.4 is literally a stepping stone for what's to come. What I'm teasing about now, there's a good foundation there that teases.
It's exciting stuff though. Like I really like the two new locations. I'm just going to say as much, but we'll take a look. Actually, we can take a look now. Let's go in game and check out Wind Pass. So Hugo, tell us, what is the story?
Yeah, but I mean,
So Wind
it's
Pass is
important to
another
say that,
overland.
you know, in the beginning,
How we
it
get to
was
via the overland map.
challenging to make Wind Pass, but with the right direction.
So is it going to be like the caps? Will it be like the deep desert? I wonder. You know what I mean? Like, because like, what would be the loop? Would it be a whole new loop? Like, would it be like you're now going to, or you know what I'm saying? Like, is it? What's the? I want to know what the thinking is behind this. Like, is it a scenario where it's like, cool, so to get to the polar caps, there's a whole new, like it's a whole new game, effectively. And you've got to start like you would in your starting area and build up until you get to a certain level. And then is it that sort of deal? Or is it more like a deep desert run? So like you hit the overland map, and it's like, right, you head up to the caps, you know, or down. I don't think it's south, because I think south is the Fremen, so that'll probably be later. So let's say you head north and you go up to the cap, you get to the cap and you're like, cool, this is the new location. And maybe it runs on a cycle as well. You know, maybe every 7 days there's like there's the what's his name storm, because it would make sense. There's nothing protecting that area, right? So yeah, you can only run it for a week, and there's new resources, and you know, maybe that's the thinking. Yeah.
And the right shape, it really started to flow, and it feels pretty good to be able to show you all this map.
Right.
So you can see.
really, dude? Oh my god!
So yes, on the left you can
Nice.
see the Harkonnen structures that they were the original people
cool
here,
location.
And they abandoned it. And then you can see the red structures is from the new faction of the water shippers. So the water shippers have several families, and the family that took over this location is called the Yafeng family. So
It looks so completely different to anything we have seen so far in the game.
Yeah, the
Like this-
architecture is really cool.
Yes, and we actually see that. We see more of that later on, but.
yeah, so they took this location and they set up a operation where they get asteroids from space. down into Arrakis, and then they harvest water and rare minerals from those asteroids.
Awesome.
But they clearly were very greedy. So there on the left, you can see that something bad happened. And then because of all the commotion, the old houses send the player to investigate. So on the right side, you can then see one of the locations, one of the areas where you might have to go there for some of the missions, because this map comes with 5 Lanzarote missions.
Nice.
So that used to be the living quarters. And then up there, that red structure is the Yafeng family mansion, which is built with the new kit that you will get with this update.
Well, it's part of the
DLC. Build with this kit.
Yeah, part of the DLC.
Probably going to change my base now.
And yeah, you
Very
will see as we go into the mansion that these are clearly very rich people.
I love the red accent color. It's beautiful.
I think
Me
Gavin
too.
can talk more about it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the shape has to do
Yeah.
with crabs and something. And
We will
yeah,
talk about
here
that.
you can see they
Actual
even
palm
have
trees.
palm trees inside.
What a waste, though. Oh my god. That's just like such a power move and such a show off move. It's like, we have water to waste. We're just gonna have palms inside.
Yeah.
If you go to the
The
right,
flex.
What the hell, man?
you can see the very rich room of the leader of
Yeah,
the
it's cool,
Yafeng.
bro.
It's got a nice little bedroom there.
And to the left, you'll see their planning room. So there is a strategy table
War
here,
room.
which may or may not
Oh.
hint at things to come. There might have also been a frame in the wall with
May or may not have things to come. Yeah, okay. This is the area.
a picture. Maybe, maybe not.
Let's say this.
Ah.
Pretty nice teaser of.
Okay. So this is the new area. Yeah, it must be up at the caps. It's not quite ready yet. So that'll be the next chapter. That'll probably be in quarter 3. Then quarter 4 is console.
And
Estimates,
then we'll
obviously.
get to look at some
Oh,
of the
shit.
underground
Bro, every time I'm trying to move my camera around, so like, you know. Yeah.
areas of this map.
As you mentioned as well, like, of course, depending on which specialization you do a Lanzarote mission for, you go to like different areas, you have different objectives, of course, and each of the specialization actually does have missions here, of course.
Yes.
And if anybody's wondering why nobody's getting like attacked or none of the NPCs are doing anything, it's because we're cheating and
Yeah. So this is the R&D lab. This is where you will come and steal some information, maybe steal some schematics. You'll see.
Okay.
That might be a schematic.
Oh, the
And
new
then on the
vehicle.
other side, you have the greenhouse.
We know that we know
And this
that
is
it's up
where
there.
we took another inspiration from Dune. We're using something which are called the tubers. Internally, we sometimes refer to them as the potatoes. And these ones are growing. In theory, they grow up to 2 meters long, and they have, I cannot remember, but a lot of water in them.
it's funny because Norway is a potato country, is what we call it internally, and here we are growing potatoes.
So, and the missions, some of them will involve coming here to kill someone. It could be to steal information because the other houses want to know what the Yafeng are doing here, or how they're managing to grow the tubers in this location. It can also be to poison something. So they're quite different, the missions.
We also just saw now that
Big location.
Camille, who's
Holy
playing
shit.
behind the scenes here, he went up and down. So there's a lot of verticality in
We
this
go all the way up to the
particular
top
map as
there.
well, which I think is
Right.
really interesting too.
Yeah, no, it's one of the world direction pillars in
Maybe,
defined
yeah.
by Jeff, our world director. Is
Shout
that
out to Jeff.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff. is that we need to have verticality in the game, and that's been a core pillar for the entire thing. And I think when he first saw this map, he was like, "Ooh, you guys, you really listened to me.
Finally
this is
got the
amazing."
brief.
He actually said, guys, it's almost too vertical. But
Almost.
Is there such a thing for Jeff? Too vertical? Nah.
I think it was
Not up to
okay.
the grave, and yeah.
He was.
so this area here is we call the launch pad area. And you can see the water towers from the water shippers. And then on the right and above, you can see the structures that hold the asteroids with Holtzman fields.
Awesome.
And you can go all the way up there, and there might even be a reason for you to go all the way up there.
There might be a mission that
There we
takes
go.
you up there.
On the asteroid.
And then one of the
That's
coolest locations is the mill, which is where they take the asteroids from up there, and then they put them in this location, this tube-like location, and then they harvest all the stuff.
I think we could say that this is probably one of the larger type landstrap maps. It's pretty big one.
And that's also the really cool thing again, because it's so easy. Well, easy theoretically, not like actual development time or work-wise, but to add new locations to the overland map, which was
Yes.
always the design behind the overland map, to be able to add new locations like this specifically for specific objectives and things like that, or landtrap missions.
And this is something we definitely want to continue doing as well.
Exactly,
And,
yeah.
and Joel, who's just here, has plenty of plans and designs and thoughts for future maps to add and future locations to add. So it's going to be cool stuff coming.
Exactly.
Cool.
But that's not the only thing that's coming. The other thing that I'm personally very excited about is, of course, the brand new dungeon that we have as well.
New dungeon.
The old quarry.
Yeah, so here you have the old quarry coming in, selecting your difficulty. It's got all the same mechanics as the other dungeons that we introduced in 1.3. It starts out in this sort of mining facility on the ground,
overland one,
and then you have really cool combat arenas. I really love these arenas. I was just playing this one again, and it's cool because there's the NPCs has been given some abilities and some new movement sets, so that they're behaving in a way that I felt a lot more natural. So that was really fun. And then as you see, you kind of go past the mining, the entrance, and you start going into like the vents and start going up towards what seems more like a lab where they're doing experiments. This ties back into this water shippers faction. And there's going to be some weird creatures here as well that you'll have to fight off. And this all kind of just leads to a new boss arena, which I do believe that we're going to be seeing the entrance to next.
Cool. Clones, bro.
But yeah, it's really beautiful. I really like how this looks. And here you see the tunnel leading to the boss area. Do you remember the name of the boss?
Jolanta?
Yeah, I think that's
so.
true. Yeah, that's true. So she's
Dr. Jolanta, please.
yeah.
Dr. Chilante.
Excuse my French. I was Dr. Jolanta. And yeah, she is pretty cool. She has new abilities, new faces, new mechanics, new everything. She has these ads that she will call on. They will rise from the ground, and they will come at you, and she can charge them with fury, I guess, some sort of.
Let's not go into too much detail.
Okay, sorry.
Let them discover some things as well.
But
In other
there's some
words,
cool mechanics,
aggro
at
them
least.
and
That's
make
the
them even
important
more
part.
Yes, that's the important part. Again, stepping stones, building on things that we already
But I think
introduced.
the main thing I want to say about this is that you kind of have to manage both the boss and the ads at the same time, and that's where the balance is.
Okay.
And here, of course, we also see some of the things that we will get from the dungeon, including
Yep.
new armor, new weapons. There's actually quite a lot. We can actually take a look a bit after this, a bit later, at the actual what those weapons look like. But
The new armor's kind of
Really
rad.
like this new armor is gorgeous.
in the smuggler design, in the water shippers design.
Am I going to give up my
Obviously.
Mentat helmet? No. But
Well, there's quite a lot of.
I
new
will throw on the
drops
rest of the gear.
actually
I
done.
think there's like
I'll just color
5
code.
new ranged
Yeah.
weapons, 5
The main dead helmet brew
melee
is like
weapons. Yeah, this is Camille showing.
permanent
Yes,
for me.
exactly.
And then there's, I think, around 17 new augments
Literally from
as
like
well.
all the promotional stuff. In fact, can I pull it up? But literally from this. So like the first time I saw this picture, I was like, yep, I need that helmet, and I haven't changed helmet since. As I got that helmet, it was like, sweet, done. I'll mess around with other stuff and but this helmet, I love it. So it'll be this helmet, but I'll find a way for it to fit in with everything else, and it'll be fine. There's no way I'm giving that up. Not gonna happen.
So
and then
there's
the
a
two
lot of
chest
things.
pieces and the helmet as well. Yeah.
Which you get by doing actual mission. Like there's an actual
Mission
thing you have to do. I don't
Yeah.
want to spoil it.
It's a part of the progression in
yeah.
the update.
Yeah. So there's a lot of cool new drops as well available in the dungeon.
Makes sense.
And again, I think it's very cool that we really see as well that we are now introducing even more a little more complex boss fights as well, and mechanics and things. And that's definitely something that we're gonna build upon and work on and
Yeah, the boss system that we built the foundation for in 1.3 update we're just continuing to build on top of that, and it's really fun to see what the team can do with it, because they're just surprising you. Hey, I did take this mechanic that we had and this mechanic that we had, and then I added this element, and suddenly you have a whole new way of fighting a boss.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
exciting. But of course, as you mentioned, new map, new things that we're working on
Awesome.
are coming soon. Other things like new community challenges, more booster progression weekends and all that. So this is all things, of course, that we've done in the past, and also things that we're going to do going forward, depending on the feedback. So far, the feedback has been really positive about this. Again, I was blown away by how fast the community smashed through those community challenge. That for the one for chapter 3, that was actually.
I feel like we underestimated them.
Yeah, I think
a
so
bit
too.
there.
I think so too.
So for the next community challenge that we're planning, because we are planning another one with 1.4, we're not going to underestimate you. You won't be able to do it, I'm sure.
No, there's your challenge. There's your challenge, players.
Sorry, that was a cheap one.
But also, the last thing I wanted to mention is we also work on quality of life improvements, like especially performance-wise. Of course, that's an ongoing process, right, Ole Andreas?
Yes, 100%.
Ongoing.
Yeah, it's something we're continuously working on. 1.1320, the patch that went out yesterday. Oh, the day before yesterday.
2 days ago, yeah.
Tuesday. Had a bunch of performance improvements that we're working on with how the base shields work, render distances on a few things, vehicles in when you're in crowded areas. There was like a ton of different performance improvements that the performance team is working on.
Yeah.
And that's going to continue to come
Awesome.
in the future patches. There was a few in 1.4 as well. So yeah, expect
Fantastic.
improvements in performance going forward.
Fantastic. I, for one, am very excited for the new update. We actually have some more coming up, but I'm just going to thank Hugo for now for being here. It was a pleasure to have you, hopefully
you.
sometime soon.
Yeah.
Ole Andreas will be... No, you will be back for the Q&A, actually.
I'll be
For
back
the
for
next
the Q&A,
segment, I
yes.
have some new guests. But now it's time to get some water, maybe get some snacks, because we have a quick break while we do some changes behind the scene and prepare for the next segment. Don't go too far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. So the caps aren't quite ready, eh? Oh well. In quarter 3. All right. Water Wars DLC.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you have some water or some other good beverages and some snacks, and you sit comfortably, because now we're gonna talk Water Wars DLC, which is generally a thing that we do with our update. So we have a free update, and then we have optional DLC, an optional paid DLC that is cosmetic. We will see some examples of that, or actually pretty much a lot of examples that are very cool, that don't give you power. So it's not...
That is a warm coat. That's definitely for a cold climate. It's definitely not for, like, the deserts of Arrakis.
Like you don't buy power, you don't buy
the
anything
caps,
that
though.
someone else doesn't get.
Yeah.
So it's purely cosmetic, and we just want to make sure that you know that and to stress that again as well. But to talk about the Water Wars DLC, I have two new guests on the seats here, one new face and one face we have seen before. So let's start with the new face. This is Gavin Whelan, our senior art director on Dune Awakening. Gavin, I am so excited to have you on stream.
I'm so nervous to be here, yes.
Finally. We tried to get him on stream so many times, but he's so nervous. So please be nice, chat. Give him a very warm welcome. He's such a nice person too. Gavin, you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yes, Gavin Whelan. I've been with Funcom over 20 years now. It's
Whoa.
been a long time here. And first time doing this, so super nervous doing this. Normally very happy to be behind the camera.
It's going to be fine.
Doing the art stuff.
Super
Yes,
OG.
It's going to be fine. And all the way over there, we have Tor Egil, that some of you might recognize from previous stream. He is our building wizard. So if you see any crazy good looking buildings and constructions
This is
in
the
our
man.
marketing material, you can be sure that Tor Egil was involved and probably also the designer of those things. Tor Egil, you want to introduce yourself a little bit further as well?
Yeah, Tor Egil. I've been here. I was, if you someone remember the building stream we did before launch, I was there. I love building, and I'm very lucky to be able to do it in both Corner XLs and Dune Awakening.
Yes.
So we have some cool new things to show you from the Water Wars.
Awesome.
Yes. So let's show some things. So this new DLC has a very unique look to it. We've seen a little bit previously. So we've actually seen a hint of that in the game, like live. And, but yeah, here we see also the new building pieces. Tor Egil, do you want to comment a little bit on it?
Right now we are in a water shipper's base that I built. We're going to show you all the contents of the DLC here. You can see the building pieces, you're going to see the decorations, all this stuff. So as you can see here, I'm just right in the middle of the base. We're high up on a mountain.
Cool.
And
Gavin can probably also give some feedback or like some background on why does it look like it looks and what is the story behind it.
Yeah, I mean, the water shippers, you've seen it in Windpass. Essentially, they're more of an industrial type of faction. They're not like the grand, big, major houses. They are people they have an industry, they have a job, and they have grown incredibly wealthy. So we really wanted to represent two things here. We wanted to show the industrial side of them. So the clothing is very functional, very work-related. They're not scared to get their hands dirty doing things to earn money. But we also wanted to show the wealth and the opulence of who they are. They've got money, they've come into it, and they're not scared to show it off. And it was a great excuse for us to actually give the players something, to improve the quality and the visuals of their own personal bases. So there's a lot more
the
color,
shapes.
a lot more vibrance in here. So it's
Especially
really
look at
what
the
we want
door.
to do. People, we've had the Atreides bases, which are kind of grey and very sort of modest.
Looks like
in
the
many
front of a
ways.
Bugatti.
And then we have the brutal sort of
Not quite,
Harkonnen camps, which are, they are what they are. They're big black monolithic structures. And we started to introduce a little bit more color and variety in with the smuggler sets. So a lot of blues and coppers coming in there. But now we're sort of getting into more, certainly the plants, like you mentioned earlier. This is how much wealth do they need to have to show off, and that they can have trees and plants and yes.
And one unique thing about this particular building set is also those leg-like structures. Tell me more about this.
Wow, this came from Bruno, who is one of the art directors who works with us in Lisbon, and he had this obsession about making it crab-like, and we really like the idea because they're kind of latching on and grabbing hold of things. I mean, there's always something parasitic about the industry of Arrakis, whether you're taking spice or you're taking water or any sort of materials. There's something you're taking from the landscape. So there's really only two reasons to be on Arrakis. It's either spice or religion, like the Fremen. So, one, it's not good and evil, but it is a little bit slightly
It's
kind of
grabbing onto wealth as well in that sense, right?
It's certainly the acquiring of wealth and not showing it off.
Yeah.
So here you can see tons of cool pieces in the set. There's 52 building pieces. The arch, as this is called, is basically 3 walls high, and it an arched leg going out, and it connects perfectly with pillars. So this is the water shippers pillars here, you see. I really like the windows, I really like the roofs, and I really love that you can have both
To the pentashield
white
doors.
and red walls, so it allows you to quite a bit of to be creative with different colors. So we're gonna head inside also after, but we're gonna stay outside a little bit here. You can see a lot of nice combinations you can do while building with this set. We also hope you wanna combine it with other sets, but here you can see, for example, one of my favorite features is that you can have different color ceilings. So here I've been combining red and white, and they have these nice lights.
I love those
Yeah,
ceilings. Can I
it's-
just say it's very like I love those so much.
I feel it's very stylish.
Yeah.
And here you get a little taste of some of the decorations. There's 18 decorations in the DLC. So you see a nice bed,
2 weeks away.
nice couches
Sure.
here. I
To
feel
redo
I
my
really
whole
like
base.
the colors here.
Shit.
I've also used the swatch. You get a swatch with the water shippers, and I've used it here on wind turbines, things like this. So you can see it's combining white and red, just like
You said the pillars and the crab was three blocks tall, right?
the set is. Here you can see.
That might work.
And for example, here is the banner for the water shippers. So you can build a lot of cool things. I feel it's very opulent. You can be a bit more sci-fi. It's quite different from most of the other building sets.
Yeah, we still wanted to keep this connection between some of the architecture and some of the methodology of why they build here and how they build here. So it was.
I like the roof.
We started with the
windows and the
Arrakeen
roof.
structures that you'd see in the city, and it's kind of an evolution of that because you still have to take into account the environment, the wind, the weather. I mean, it's the first
Sure.
and most important thing when you're building an Arrakis to survive the planet.
Yeah.
The soul
But
was
then
powering this
to have
place.
that flip side to do something interesting with the
Shit.
interior, like you were talking about.
There's
the,
a few,
the ceilings and the wall
you know.
colors and all the furniture and
I
Wind
mean, look at
generated
this.
outside, but
it's
yes,
so like it's
three
so
big
open,
spice
like
genies.
just also the detail on the table here.
kilowatts
with
of power.
The texture is just
Yeah, I really like this.
absolutely fantastic. I also really love the lights. I love the lights in this set so much. It's probably one of my favorite sets when it comes to the lights. Not only because the things that are inbuilt into the ceiling, but also some of the. You probably go and show them afterwards. I don't want to go ahead of you. Of your yeah, there they are. Like
Chandeliers.
those chandeliers are just. They're so Art Deco. Like I love that so much. There's just like the whole style is, especially interior design. is
Full
just-
room. I
Yeah,
love
the
that
concept
scene.
artists really love doing this
Damn.
stuff, and they
How much-
provide me
how
with
much
so many
light is
good
it gonna
choices.
provide,
It
but
makes my
still.
job really easy and hard at the same time to sort of narrow it down to the set
It's
that we
like I'm going
have.
to be switching my Atreides base
yeah,
for
they
a
are
water
very
shipper's
good.
base.
I think it's also easy to see that this is a faction or families that are rich. You know, they're like.
Wait, are we going to be able to switch factions now? Like go from Atreides to water shippers? Like, is there going to be a full-blown... That was changed, though, wasn't it? It was slightly changed. We shall see.
Rich, and not empire. Like they're not that kind of rich, but you can see here that they like to show off that they have money.
They've made
I
money
feel
out of
like,
Arrakis.
you know,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, it's still kind of, we need to keep a lid on the wealth, not so much so we don't compete with the Carino because we want to expand into the future.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
have more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here you can see a small light. You can see two wall
You don't want to
lights,
piss off the
and
Emperor.
you see the chandelier.
idea.
So you have also these cool bookcases here. These lights are built into the bookcases.
Oh,
I really like the beds.
Yay! Inbuilt lights.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So there's lots of cool things here. The carpets are also nice, a bit more color than usual. And here I've used the swatch on the storage containers and crafting stations.
I also like thinking about the outdoor, like
The storage container.
lights.
Yeah.
can we change the
Awesome.
theme?
So there's lots of cool things here. The carpets are also nice, a bit more color than usual.
We
And
always
here
want
I've
to do
used the swatch on the storage containers and crafting stations.
Has that always been there? And I've just left it as the default? Wow. That was a bit of an oversight, if that's the case.
I also like thinking about the outdoor, like the external design with those sets as well, like more like, you know, mega type structures, stuff like
Yes.
that. You know, like I didn't want to. Yeah, but that's kind of my first thought when I saw the building set for the first time. I'm like,
Yes.
I know what I'm gonna do with this.
Well, that's
from my childhood.
for me, that's the fun part. Okay, I mean, when we build these, we have a shape language in mind, we have a design in mind, and then the first real test of that is handing it to Toraigo to build something
Yeah,
with.
actually, talking about that, before we show some of the other really cool stuff, we do have some
Stairs
concept
up to
actually
that.
that
Yes.
you
Oh, shit.
shared
Whoops.
with us, which is probably would be
kinda
fun to
rad.
maybe look at those quickly if we can, and then we can go back to the actual.
Yeah.
There we are. Like
So there's
Yeah, so
okay.
the top line of sort of images and concepts, some from the movie, which we kind of wanted to stay true to some of the design language that Denis Villeneuve had come through in the movie. And in addition to two of the building types that we had before, and the new elements that we wanted to add to that, this sort of take the Arrakeen structure and change the angles of it to make it more streamlined, to sort of, design for design's sake. Kind of
Hold on a
wanted to stay true to, we had before.
This is the gear. Which piece is this? Is that there? Is that the scout armor? That's kind of rad, man. So this is just concept, eh? The Guyver suit.
And the new elements that we wanted to add to that, this sort of take the Arrakeen structure and change the angles of it to make it more streamlined, to sort of, design for design's sake as opposed to just something that's functional. And the protection and the shielding, so the exterior feels protective and still attractive and beautiful, and then go into the interior, and then these are just
it's just
things
like,
of beauty
Thopter.
for
yes.
beauty's
Oh yeah,
sake.
maybe we can go back to the actual in-game
Yes.
view again. Yes, because
There's
I
the
mean,
top there.
I mean, that almost makes me want to switch off my
It's-
Harkonnen ornithopter. This is like, I mean, it's
Definitely.
just
It is the Porsche of
Yeah.
ornithopters.
Porsche ornithopters.
It doesn't need to look like this functionally, but it does because they want it to look pretty in it, and so it's
You
nice.
want to show off your, you have money, man. You can build
Like a sports
an
car.
ornithopter that looks
Dude,
like this.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's very sleek
As a
and
family
stylish.
of water owners, this is what we do. This is
Yep.
And it looks good flying.
we
as well.
deal in
Yeah,
water. It's super streamlined. It looks like the sports car
Yes.
of ornithopters, like literally. So I love it. I think it's my second favorite after the Harkonnen. I think the Harkonnen ornithopter is my favorite, but
It's a personal
I
preference.
might be convinced.
But that's
to
what we're trying to do. We're trying to sort of appeal to different
aesthetics and-
people,
yes.
different aesthetics, different
100%.
fantasies.
We haven't seen if
that
there's
we want
a
to
buggy
take
or a
and
large
just keep on
thopter
building and adding to this in the
Yeah.
future.
You can see they have
sure
a few
there is.
golden accents here
just
also,
haven't
some
shown.
little
Yeah.
parts here and there with a little bit gold
Sure,
on
why
them.
not?
I love the painted
So
shield
then
doors, man.
Throw a little bit gold
Rad.
there too. Why don't we? Yes.
I'm gonna head back to my
have the money.
character.
I'm gonna have to
There we
change more
go.
base.
We have water to sell.
Yeah.
Gonna have to do
So
it, bro.
in the DLC, there's
Gonna have to do it.
of course 3 armor sets. So here
Super
is
cool.
the scout armor. So you can see the style of the red and white coming through here.
You can actually see on the shoulder pads the shape language of the shoulder pads. That was the origin of the
logo.
arches.
Oh,
So that's where
yeah.
that shape came from.
It's
So it
also
came from
similar to the
character.
logo they have, the actual.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
We want to have something that felt like a water drop, but also felt like a diamond.
Oh,
so-
that makes sense.
Wealthy
How
water.
nice, yeah.
So we're gonna put on the heavy. So
Yeah,
these are
there it is.
variants. So you apply them to your existing armors if you own the DLC. And this DLC is in the season pass and in the Ultimate Edition, like the other DLCs. So here you can see the heavy, like
Definitely
built for
a
a
warm
specific
climate.
climate.
Yeah.
And here I'm gonna swap to
Everywhere cold climate.
the still suit.
And also
So
you
very
mentioned as
sleek.
well, like
It's a
this
still suit.
particular Water Wars DLC is the conclusion of the season pass as well. So this is part of the season pass.
Yeah.
You get
I
two
wonder if they're
weapons
going to
as
do a
well.
new.
I'm a big
It
fan
sounds like
of
they're
the
trying to gear
Rapier.
up to
Me
do
too.
another season pass,
Me too. It's so unique looking.
like year 2, kind
You
of.
can
vibe.
see many of the similar shapes, I feel, going through both this and the Thopter and
That's
any
awesome.
other.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for a concept artist to, there's so little space you have to work with to continue a theme and to make something that's interesting and new. And yeah, he did fantastic on this. And same with the weapon. The rifle looks absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so this is a drill shot. Just zooming in here. So we're in
And again,
South
just to
Russia.
also repeat that again, these are, as you mentioned too, these are variants basically, so or skins, right? So this is not a new weapon.
So you can, the rifle. I feel the rifle is very stylish here. Yeah. I can go a little bit into the building tool here just to show.
Yeah.
So here you can see all the pieces. For example, there's lots of little details in the foundation here. There's a lot of mechanical parts, like there's wheels. It's not just a block. So there's a lot of tech in the set. And of course, here you have the arch.
There's the arch.
3 walls high. So trying to fit these around your base, trying to basically
Gonna definitely try a
make
DD
space
base.
for the arches is
This.
a big part of building with the water shipper set here. Here you can see the nice pillars. I really like the doors
Yeah, that prudence door.
and the roofs. And of course, as with all sets now, there is a garage door with this as well. The set uses granite to build with, so should be nice and easy to get. These roofs
Granite.
windows are, I really love them, and this is
Awesome.
a rooftop here, so you can use this as a cap. There is a simpler version of it, but this is very stylish. I feel with the window here. So I feel this set could be very good to build maybe with the observer. Like you could make some really cool combos with observer set. But of course,
The
feel free to
observer.
build
Oh, yeah.
whatever you like.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to
Awesome.
see what the players do with them.
Me
because like
too.
Torrego is the first reference.
observer
of, like, is
set.
this working? Yes or no? But then when you see what comes back from the
Yeah,
players,
yeah, I can see
still
that.
think we
I
should
can see
do
that.
like kind of a Torrigal versus community type of challenge. But then of course,
The best
do we want
players,
him to be? Do
the-
we want him to
Yeah.
be like?
the best players will always be better.
Yes.
That's the rule.
Yes.
Yes.
I was. Do we want him to be bested like that by the community? I was like, part of me is like, hell yeah. Okay, cool. But yeah, I think we've shown quite a lot of things here now. I do hope that our players are as excited as I personally am about this. I'm really looking forward to. I mean, I've seen it and stuff, and I might have tried it out and things. But I'm really looking forward, as you mentioned, what you all are going to do with this new set.
I'm gonna go berserk.
Yes, and with that said, thank you so much, Tor Egil and also Gavin, for joining me today and showing us those building pieces and armors, and also talk a little bit about inspirations and things like that. That's always interesting. And now from one beautiful thing to another beautiful thing that we haven't actually been directly involved in, but is very tied to our IP, of course, and has us very excited, and I think probably you as well. Let's watch the Dune Part 3 trailer before we go into our Q&A.
Absolutely, let's do that.
If we have a girl, what will we name her?
Oh, okay.
Her name should be Ganima. She'll need to be strong, like her mother.
So she actually was interested in seeing Paul after a kind of betrayal there, bro.
What if it's a boy?
I would name him Leto.
They have twins,
He would
don't they?
have the wisdom of his grandfather.
War feeds on itself.
Children of Dune.
The more I fight, the more our enemies fight back. I'm doing the best I can to protect my family.
It's gonna be cool, bro. I'm excited for this.
How did Father do it?
Your father never started a war.
The conclusion. Is there a release date for this?
I'm afraid to die. But I must not die. Yet.
Oh! Awesome. Ah! Whoa.
And we're back with
12/18/26. It's far away.
And we're back with
not that
our
far.
Q&A with Ole Andreas
Yeah,
and Joel,
still.
who is stroking a sandworm.
The fuck?
Shout out to Dana, by the way, from our community team, who crocheted this sandworm, by the way. She's a wizard when it comes to making
looks
those
really
things.
good,
It looks really
actually.
cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool one.
It looks fantastic. Maybe I can
It gives me comfort in my darkest hours.
get one as well. Yes. Stroke the sandworm.
Yes.
Was on the
Typical
shelf just now?
Joel fashion. All right.
I don't know what you mean by typical, Natasha.
We collected some questions from the community, from you, and we're gonna answer those now. I'm gonna throw those over to you, of course.
Sure.
Now,
Can I ask? Do you think any of the questions are going to mention PvP?
I don't think so.
No, probably not. No one has any questions
No,
about that.
I mean I've seen them. There's not a single PvP question in here.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, any future plans for PvP, such as arena?
We can talk about that.
Yeah.
So for Chapter 3 story, we built the arena, and the plan was to use that for more things in the future.
PvP
Both
duels.
of a PvE and PvP nature, hopefully. So I can't say concretely when, but there's definitely some thoughts in our mind about how to reuse that level and that arena for future content.
And yeah, there's been conversations internally, and I mean, Exiles has some similar.
Also make it like
Examples
manager
of
mission so you
buildable
can,
as
unlock
well,
achievements.
which is also something that one of our lead coders is very excited about.
I mean, GD Prime Arena, that'd be fun.
And we've seen a ton of cool videos online of players building
There are.
arenas
Yep.
that they're doing PvP in.
Yes.
So this is
100%.
definitely something that we enjoy seeing, and if we can help, then
Yeah.
Yes.
I like arenas. I like PvP, arena PvP personally. So, yes. Okay, next question. Are there any plans for matchmaking to find friends?
Not any plans now, not currently.
No, I don't think so. We can look at it and talk about it, but right now it's not the plan.
Yeah. All right. Are there any plans for faction versus faction?
The only time that would make sense is if, let's say, if you were doing like looking for group, like if you wanted to do a raid, like if like what we were talking about earlier, if there was like a massive spice farming team, out in the DD, and you need a group to take it down, there would make sense. Auto matchmaking or looking for group kind of vibe.
Sounds interesting because I think if we do that, we have to do a very specific setup for it, right? Like some people have talked about having faction versus faction in the deep desert as an option, but it's complicated. A lot of people, there are a percentage of people who haven't joined a faction in the game, right? Like by the time they're going to places like that, what happens with neutrals in these situations? So the definitive answer right now is no, there are no key plans, but like it is something that we need to spend some time thinking about and looking at for faction versus faction. There'll be more faction ranking missions in the future, and as we build through those, I do want to take a look at it, think about it. So
I think that's a good answer. Never say never. And oops, I just got my messages. There we go. Are there plans to add mods for self-hosted servers?
No plans for mods. I mean, we're working with an IP that also has some. I feel like there's some restrictions there that we need to respect on the IP side.
For sure.
100%.
So yeah, no plans for mods. But I mean, self-hosted players servers, they will have quite a few options to configure their experience.
Yes, and people tend to be quite ingenious. We'll see what they come up with.
Yeah.
True. There's actually a question that we kind of answered in the DLC section. So, are the new base pieces for the Watershipper plastone?
No,
Or granite? It's granite. Yes, but it's okay to also repeat. Is there a placeable swatch that can go with the Watershipper set? We actually touched on that as well. There is actually one swatch that comes with the DLC. Tor Eagle actually had some wind turbines that had like the red and gold. Well, it's kind of red and then it looked goldish, brassish. So yes, there is a swatch for placeables. Are there plans to add a built-in camera mode?
No current plans, but that's an interesting thought.
It's been raised before,
Yeah, it's been talked
and
about.
we've talked about it internally before, but we haven't actually got it scheduled in a patch right now. So,
But I mean, this is one of the things. Like we've since
Building
launch,
cam.
we've done a lot of quality of life updates based on player feedback.
Yep.
A ton of the stuff we've been adding in patches are that. So
Or like in Winrows, where you've got right in front of you, or you've got like an elevated height. You know what I mean?
definitely something we will.
This is another
look
option.
at sometime in the future.
yeah, 100%. Like even even a few months ago, you were paying taxes. Now you're not, right?
Yes.
So there's stuff that like
Things can change quite fast.
things change fast based
Yeah.
on feedback
Good
and what we
move.
see people wanting, hoping for, and definitely like
A good move.
And
there.
also, I do have to say, also what people do. We have pretty good metrics from how people play the game.
Yes.
And we pay a lot of attention to, because, like, this is going to sound like I don't know.
I know exactly what you're gonna go.
But like there's this thing, like people say a lot of things, and they often say things like you just have to read any Reddit post and see that there's 20 different opinions. Right, the truth of what people do is actually the core thing that you can sort of see.
Yeah.
So, like, it's like you have to make sure that you filter signal and noise, and you understand like what people say they want, what people actually want, and how they play the game, so that you can make good decisions about these things.
Yeah. So, like, our decisions are always informed by both looking at feedback and looking at forum posts and Reddit and all different kind of platforms, but also informed by data that we actually have on how players play the game. I think it's also kind of important to mention as well, because generally there can be a group that is really loud and then it feels like, oh, everyone feels that way. But then we do, of course, have internal data that shows us like people have been doing that many dungeons or people have been doing this particular thing and not so much of the other thing. So
exactly.
it's important to mention that we're not just nilly-willy changing things.
No, exactly.
So,
We pay attention to a lot of the data.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Any plans to be able to show off wealth by having real plants? That's a cool question. I love that, actually. That's a fantastic question.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, there is a.
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, there is a thing about that coming up one day.
We're putting like this is future plans.
Yeah.
We have talked.
Joel's hinting and teasing, but yes, definitely like there are
that's
things.
something that I don't know about.
There's
either.
features in the future that we want to explore that touch upon that. Yes, for sure.
That sounds exciting. Now I'm excited too, chat.
Hydroponic gardening.
Everybody in the game loves
Can't believe
Derek
I don't
so
know
much.
about
We
this.
want to give you as much Derek as we possibly can.
Good old
Derek
Derek.
the planetologist, everyone's favorite man.
Yeah. I get it. Any plans for new water storage and collection?
Not currently.
What about the potatoes?
But I mean, sorry, that's not correct, I guess, because this is where it ties into future plans.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about like we're sitting here held hostage today because we have some really cool stuff we want to talk about, but we're not allowed to talk about because people tell us no, you can't talk about this stuff. So hey, we're just trying to tell you stuff without saying stuff. But yes, there's definitely stuff coming in future stuff.
Quick. Might be a table somewhere.
I feel like that's that moment in Arrested Development where I wink at the screen and then someone says, "Never do that again." That was disgusting.
No, but yeah, it really is. Like we have some really exciting stuff, and it ties into what you're talking about now with
yes. So
water.
as we
The
mentioned
same as what we
earlier,
saw in the tasting stations where they were growing plants. Like I mean, yeah, we should definitely be able to do that.
Like, yes, 1.4 is an update. It's not an actual chapter, but there's of course so much more in the work. So don't you worry. There is a lot of excitement.
Have you reassured people about Conan Exiles yet? Have you done that? Should I do that?
We'll talk about that at the very end.
Sorry.
Anyway, on to the next question. Are there news on the server merges? Lots of people asking.
No news, but it's still a thing that is coming very soon. We have a plan internally that we have some dates, and then we'll have some dates for announcing it, making or releasing a list of which worlds will be affected, so that people can start preparing mentally and which ones they want to move to, and then there is plans for when we'll start actually shutting them down as well. But there's going to come a lot more information about it. We have spent a lot of time thinking about how to make this as smooth an experience as possible. Even if you come in after the merge or the server merge has happened, we want it to be as smooth as possible to move the bases and the vehicles that you had on that world that was merged over to the new one. So, more information coming. We'll make it as smooth as possible.
There's a lot of moving elements, no pun intended actually in this case, but there's a lot of moving elements that need to be considered and really,
and we needed to get some of the pieces in place for base reconstruction and things like that.
Exactly.
So we've been building out features.
Building stepping stones.
Exactly. Building out features along the way that both are requested by people so that they can, take a break from the game and come back and restore their bases intact and all these things that people have been asking about. And telling us clearly that they want, but in addition, these things will help when the server merges come. So we had to build out, the steps so that we can,
concrete examples. You just mentioned it, like the base reconstruction tool, and now also the base recycling tool.
Yes.
Because in the server merge context, we might force basically auto backup your base S in plural, and then maybe some of those bases you don't actually want to place down, or you don't find a place for it, or you just want to recycle it. So now we have
Base
that functionality, and you can get the time you put in building that base back again when you recycle it.
Because the game itself, like Dune Awakening, is a complex game already, and then having systems that need to work intertwined
you just recycling, get all your resources
back. So that's the reason it takes a bit longer.
We really want to take the time that you put in, the effort that you put in seriously, and we want to make sure that gets backed up.
Comes back to that original philosophy of helping people not to have loss, which has been sort of the
I just love how you hold your little support animal there. What are the dogs called? The official term that you can have that help
helper
you?
dogs or help?
Is it support animals?
I think it is
emotional support.
Emotional support.
Yeah, this is my
an emotional support sandworm.
My
there you go.
emotional support Charlotte.
Yes, that's what. And then we have one last question. Any plans to add elevators?
Jeff G, stop being in the chat. Jeff, get out of the chat.
Elevators?
Is it Jeff? Is it you, Jeff? Is it you, Jeff?
It is a feature we've talked about internally a few times.
How many times did you cut it?
I haven't.
Wow, it's throwing him under the bus. Not nice.
It is a feature
nice.
that we want to do, but it's always a priority, and it's a tricky one to do.
Yes.
If you don't know, one of the hardest things to do in games are elevators, moving platforms, doors, the things you don't think is hard.
Well,
we have suspensor belts, but also you could just make instead of having a moving platform, you could just have a space where if you walk into, you just there's a constant suspensor. What's it called? What's the Holtzman? There's a constant Holtzman thing direction, so you could have two. So you could literally have one going up, one going down, and if you walk into it, you just go up. There's a constant Holtzman stream. You know what I mean? Then you don't have to worry about moving platforms. And it would fit with the law. So you could just walk in and just be whoop, and the Holtzman would take you Holtzman, I don't know, Holtzman whatever's. And it just pulls you up and then drops you down like Holtzman conveyor belts, just vertical.
Also
really
because
tricky.
these are suspensor elevators that we were talking about.
Correct, yeah.
And they have a they have a cost on the servers that has been quite high. We have done prototypes of this,
Yeah,
and
we
that's
have.
why we cut it, because we were like, oh, this is killing performance in the game. We need to rethink it,
we go.
refactor it, and retry. So, yeah, one day I think these will come, because Jeff G
Yeah.
is going to kill us if we don't
It's-
put them in. The world director has been asking for this for like 3 years
Oh, I bet.
at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really wanted them for Haggard Rift. That was his first place. He was like, I want people to be able to get out of Haggard Rift from the bottom by taking a suspensor elevator up, and we were all for it. But it was
Difficult to
not
actually
feasible
implement.
from a technical standpoint in some ways. So
It's so funny though. But every game I've worked on since back in EverQuest times was about elevators. I remember Calathane had like those elevators. Throw back to Darkfall as well. We had like the discussion about elevators there as well, and that comes up again. I feel like it's also following me around. This whole
what's
elevator
super weird
discussion.
though is that Christian Bull Hansen, one of our
Yes.
expert designers, implemented elevators on Conan Exiles when he went home one weekend, and then came in the next on the Monday and went, "Hey, his elevator's working." And I was like, "Which? Which? I don't know how he did it. I still don't know how he did it." And it worked. I mean, I think the
So
coders
you're
probably had to
saying
fix
it's
it.
super easy to have.
I'm saying we need Christian Bull Hansen to just apply his mind to this.
elevators.
I think the
Okay.
clue is the coders probably had to fix it
Yeah,
for a
the-
week afterwards. But yeah.
Coders probably had to spend
But
a year on it.
you need both, right? You need the designer who's just like, here's a prototype, it's a cool
Yeah, yeah.
thing, and then
Yeah.
Then you actually have to make it work with everything else.
Yeah, then you have to make it work with 1,000 bases.
Just the logic alone doesn't make a feature, right?
But
So-
yeah, the answer is yes, it'll probably be there at some point.
And if not, suspense belts.
Yeah. Dispenser lift.
Okay, cool. That was also the last question. So, thank you, Ole Andreas. Thank you, Joel. Always a pleasure.
Thank you,
It is-
Natasha.
And I mean that. It's always a pleasure to have you both on
It is.
stream.
It is nice to talk
It's
to the
always
community again. I have
interesting.
been away for a while, so it's
Yeah,
nice to have a nice to have a chat and be back and say hi to people.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the community really appreciates that as well. And I'm also really happy that we were able to do another stream in between all the crazy work that everyone in the team is doing. So everyone is very hard at work.
I guess that's worth mentioning as well. Like, we're also hard at work on the console version that's coming out later this year.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. So that's many of the things we cannot talk
Many
about.
of the things that what was that? What's the Conan Exile thing that you wanted to talk about?
So I wanted to say this about the Conan Exiles enhanced.
So anyway, it's coming from you. It's way more valuable if it's coming from you than from me. I love that we were
Don't feel
able
bad,
to.
Natasha.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna stroke that thing. So
Wow.
anyway, with Conan Exiles announced on the table already.
I don't think she. Yep.
Thank you, Joel. We are going to watch the Conan Exiles.
Yeah, she didn't think about that one. Anyway, okay. Well, that's cool, man. That's Water Shippers, bro. Now, obviously, it's not the caps. That's coming, though. Unless they ninja drop it, will be like, actually, it's all about the caps. But it sounds like they're still working on that area. And obviously, they've been doing quite a lot of other changes, so, I'm guessing that got pushed back a bit. I'm still trying to work out how they're going to do it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, coming on May 19th. That's not far at all. I think the caps are going to be the same as the Deep Desert. I'm guessing. I'm assuming. Like, you'll hit the overland map, you'll shoot out to the caps, you'll be able to build for 7 days, and then you'll need to cruise. I'm assuming. It's either that or it's a whole new permanent area that you can just move to. So, like, you back up your base, or build a new one, and then head out there and be like, cool, I'm at the caps now. And then you just hang out. Maybe, because the thing is, like, you saw that overland, you saw that, what's his name? You saw that decoration that had the strategy, right? The new strategy table. And that was the new area. And maybe it's a permanent fixed area. Maybe I don't know. We're going to have to see. But May 19th, that's not far away for this, for 1.4. And then I imagine console is what? Is Q4. So that means that caps would then be what? Q3? So July, August, September, somewhere around there. Between that is the caps. Anyway, cool. Well, I will see you guys in the next stream. I'll try to jump in tomorrow. Tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm still trying to work out schedule. Might be Tuesday. Anyway, I'll see you then. Bye.